You ever run across an anime that completely catches you off guard? A show you clicked on with almost no expectations, only to end up thinking about it the next day? Well, I just caught up with Smoking Behind the Supermarket with you, and man, color me surprised. A middle-aged salaryman, a convenience store employee, one spot behind a supermarket. Doesn't exactly scream must-watch, does it? But that's how these shows get you. When you least expect it, they leave the biggest impression. Halfway through season 1, I found myself thinking, this show actually has something here. It explores connection with strangers, the places we normally overlook, and the joy we sometimes find there. I was browsing the interwebs earlier this week, right, wondering what to watch. After finishing season 2 of ReZero, I was ready for a change of pace. You know, something fresh, something different. I was talking with a friend of mine who's heavily into slice of life anime, and the conversation basically went like this.
Hey bro, you should watch Smoking Behind the Supermarket with you.
I don't know, man. I really don't think it's my kind of...
The female MC looks like Makima.
Say no more! Next thing I know, I'm watching each of these episodes back to back, spending the next several hours glued to the screen like a potato. I don't know whether that says more about the anime or more about me. Smoking Behind the Supermarket with you sports some pretty impressive ratings across the board. Whether you're looking at Crunchyroll, IMDb, or Mal, people seem to agree this one's worth checking out. The overall consensus? Yeah, it's pretty good. It also helps that one of the main characters looks like Makima. For those unfamiliar with the series, Smoking Behind the Supermarket with you follows Sasaki, an overworked salaryman who spends his evenings stopping by the same supermarket after work. There he meets Yamada, whose playful alter ego Tayama leads to an unexpected friendship. What begins as a casual smoke break behind the supermarket gradually becomes a series of conversations that both characters begin looking forward to. And that's where the story really begins. As we get older, routines have a way of taking over. Wake up, go to work, come home, repeat. Sasaki is no different. He's a tired, 40-something-year-old man, worn down by a demanding sales job, working long hours and long days for a guy who reminds me of Gran Torino. He's caught up in corporate, things like meetings, short deadlines, and projects that never seem to end. So much of his life revolves around work, and his only real joys seem to be smoking, eating mochi chips, and, smoking. I mean, when your diet is 90% tobacco and 10% chips, it's no surprise he has one of those loyalty rewards cards. Anyway, every evening after work, Sasaki makes the same stop at his local supermarket, not for cigarettes, but for a young woman named Yamada. She's the kind of person who can brighten even the worst day, which comes in handy when you've spent the last 10 hours getting chewed out by Gran Torino. One evening, Yamada isn't working, and instead, Sasaki meets a woman named Tayama in the small smoking area behind the supermarket. The irony is, Yamada and Tayama are actually the same person, only Sasaki has absolutely no idea. And watching that misunderstanding play out is where a lot of the show's charm comes from. If I were to show you this picture, right, would you think that they are the same person? Yeah, I don't think so either. You'd think Yamada and Tayama couldn't be more different. Yamada is cheerful, polite, and always greets customers with a smile. Tayama, on the other hand, she's playful, teasing, and a little mischievous. She's the type of person who says whatever's on her mind without a second thought. Oh, and she also smokes like a chimney. I mean, my gosh, homegirl can put him down like the best of them. If smoking were an Olympic sport, she'd have enough gold medals to sink a ship. I can see it now. And representing Japan, Tayama. Oh, and if you're wondering about the smoking rate in Japan, it's been steadily decreasing the past several years now. Props. What makes Sasaki and Tayama's friendship so endearing is the way Tayama teases Sasaki about Yamada, while somehow knowing more about him than anyone ever could. Come on, buddy. How do you not see the resemblance? Even more amusing is how Tayama constantly drops little hints that she and Yamada are in fact the same person. She has her reasons for keeping those two sides of herself separate, but let's be honest, the series wouldn't be nearly as entertaining if Sasaki figured it out on day one. I'll say this, Tayama doesn't tease Sasaki for the sake of it. There's actually method to her madness, one that slowly reveals itself as the story unfolds. And well, it's Sasaki, your typical anime protagonist, as perceptive as a brick. This man's dense, like S-tier dense. Tayama could hand this man a signed confession, a family photo, and a PowerPoint presentation titled Yamada and Tayama are the same person, and Sasaki, still wouldn't get it. As adults, responsibilities have a way of piling up. Deadlines, obligations, long days working for a boss who somehow always expects just a little more. Some days, all you want to do is go home, only to wake up and do it all over again. And then out of nowhere, you meet someone new, and she sees right through you. Little by little, those ordinary conversations become something you look forward to. It's amazing how a few minutes with the right person can make life's journey feel a little less lonely. A sour mood turns into a smile. Over the coming episodes, Sasaki and Tayama's friendship begins to grow. They support one another in ways both big and small, showing us that even the smallest gesture can mean the world to someone. They don't change each other's lives overnight. Instead, they become something far more meaningful. A familiar face at the end of a long day. Someone who turns a simple smoke break into a place where the rest of the world could wait. In a culture where everyone's rushing from one responsibility to the next, I think all of us could use someone like that every now and then. That's when it clicked for me. Not every great story needs world-ending stakes, over-the-top action, or some grand mystery waiting to be solved. All I needed was a couple of believable characters making time for one another behind a supermarket. Thanks for watching, and as always, remember to save your progress. The best moments happen in the places you least expect. If you made it to the end of the video, please consider liking and subscribing. It really helps the channel. Thanks.